Hello, this is Swami Pranava, and this is the first video where I am trying to explain Luca Lampariello's method. He is an Italian man who's a polyglot, and he's the best language learner that I know of. And this is a method for intermediate learners. But I just had a conversation with Shambhu here at the ashram, and I was so inspired by this conversation that I had to make this video. I will probably make more videos that explain this a bit more clearly, but for now I just want to get one video out, and I want to tell you that there are 4 steps. And so the first step is you must have audio recordings, and this could be like a podcast or a video, but you have to have a transcript in the target language. So I'm studying Vietnamese, so I would watch a video in Vietnamese, and I would get a transcript from YouTube in Vietnamese, and then I would use Google Translate to take that transcript, translate it into English. And so step 1 of the 4 steps is to simply get the meaning of the video, or the section of the video. Let's say you would choose maybe just a portion of the video because you don't want to do the whole video. That's fine. So you take a portion of the video, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you want to do. It could be less, actually. It could be 1 or 2 minutes. For me, Vietnamese is so difficult. I usually want to choose about 2 or 3 minutes. 5 minutes is getting to be too much. So you take your video, you listen to it, but very soon you try to get the meaning. That's the first step out of 4, right? Step 1 is get the meaning as soon as possible. So all that means is you can listen to the video, watch the video, but you can also read in Vietnamese in this case, right? So I'm listening in Vietnamese, reading in Vietnamese. But if it's too high level, then I can just read it in English, and I can get the meaning like that. Okay, that's fine. So that's step 1. Now, once you know the meaning, you proceed to step 2. Step 2 is where you compare the text in English and Vietnamese, and you write down any interesting words or phrases on the paper that has the text in Vietnamese. And of course you can get the meaning very easily by looking at the same section of the text in English. So you don't need a dictionary, you don't need Google Translate at that point. But this is just a step to familiarize yourself with the story more and get some interesting words and phrases. And you can write these in a notebook and use these for your speaking practice if you want to. Recently, what I've been doing is things that are very easy for me to understand. I write only those things in my speaking notebook so that I can practice speaking with words and phrases that I already know very well. Okay, but these could be some words and phrases that you don't know and you just want to learn them. Now, step 3 is very simple. You just listen again to the video in Vietnamese, read it in Vietnamese, but now notice you're not reading it in English anymore. Okay, now in step 3, you're abandoning your native language, and I'm just listening in Vietnamese, reading in Vietnamese. And then in step 4, you put away the text in Vietnamese, listen to the video again, and simply see if you can keep your concentration on what you're hearing. If you reach a section where there is a lot of words you don't know and things you don't understand, probably your attention will tend to drift away. So if you see that happening, you simply try to guide your attention back to it. And what you'll find is that if you have learned some interesting words and phrases, then when you hear those words, your attention will come back, and you may think in your native language, oh, that's where they said this, that's where they talked about that. Okay, but the one thing that Lucas said that is the most helpful is he said you have to try to not translate what you're hearing into your native language. You see, because you're trying to think now in the target language. So I would hear something in Vietnamese, and I would say in Vietnamese to myself, rồi đây là phần của video khi nói về chủ đề đó. You know, I would say something in Vietnamese to myself. I wouldn't say it in English to myself. Okay, I wouldn't say, oh, that's the part where they're talking about this subject. I would say it in Vietnamese, because now we're trying to think in the target language. Okay, so those are the 4 steps. And like I say, this is just a quick video to give you a little bit of an idea about this wonderful technique of Luca Lampariello. And you know, you can see him on YouTube. If you look up Smart Language Learning with Luca Lampariello, you are certain to find him. Anyway, I highly recommend his videos. Okay, thank you. Om Shanti.